Hello and welcome to your May 2026 Tarot card reading, Sagittarius. We are going to get started with an oracle card. Cave, sanctuary. Okay. Looks like some needed alone time or some solitude. Getting out of the fray of things maybe. All right, we're going to get some additional guidance here and advice from Tarot. And this is for May for Sagittarius. Here we go. Six of Swords, Page of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Nine of Pentacles, the Strength card, Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers, Knight of Wands, and Judgment. Okay. So we got a little story here. And I love the sanctuary message because we know that there has been there's a full moon in Scorpio, which is going to highlight your 12th house of solitude. It's a sanctuary. It's where you are going to, kind of dive in deep, some self-introspection. It's a place where you heal. It's a spiritual place. And it's a place where you come to terms with endings. And again, right off the bat, with the full moon in Scorpio, this house is going to provide you, that full moon is going to provide you with the time away from things, a sanctuary where you can do this deep work, this house of dreams, and house of undoing, self-sabotaging behaviors, addictions and things of that nature. So it's a heavy house, and it requires sometimes just focus, not being around other people and influences. And that doesn't mean that you're going somewhere and not, living your life. You are, but you have to carve out some time to deal with some things. And that the Judgment card is here too, which, by the way, supports that 12th house because it's a spiritual awakening, which happens in that 12th house that we're discussing. Okay, so we have the Lovers card over here, which indicates something beautiful that's on its way, possibly for you. And I think with Uranus being in your one-on-one relationship, there is going to be meaningful shifts in how you are in relationships and the people that you attract, Sagittarius. So this is pretty monumental. This is a major, monumental, life-altering energy that you're going to be dealing with, by the way, for 7 years. And I liked that the sanctuary, the cave, came out because it does suggest that you really need to come to terms with, some of the way that you had maybe been in relationships in the past, and maybe some of those things that didn't work out for you, and some of those things that you were disappointed in, and some of the things that you learned and gleaned about yourself. So I like it. I do. I also know that Venus and Mercury are going to really kick up your social circle, and you're going to be happy about that. Nine of Pentacles shows that you're going to be, going to some really cool parties, being a little belle of the ball, and you're going to be, surrounded by people of means. It's a little bit of a crowd that has, figured some things out in life. You're going to be around people who are successful and people who are prosperous and people who are just different than the crowd that you've been hanging around with. So I love that all of this energy here is really touching the areas of importance, which of course, seventh house of one-on-one relationships, and then your network, your social circle, the people that you're going to be moving through life with. And it starts by getting away from the people that you used to hang out with, the people that you used to associate with. And not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that cycle has ended for you. And once you start moving out of that area, you have the Page of Wands coming in, which, by the way, is your energy. The wands represent fire and passion. And of course, you're a fire sign. This is your brand. And so you're going to meet like-minded people. Fire signs probably too, absolutely. Passionate people, though. They don't have to be, a Leo or a Sagittarius or an Aries, It can be, it most certainly can be, but it's people who just have this passion, people who have reached a certain milestone, in their life where they're comfortable, and they're surrounded by things that give them joy, the passions of their life. That's what you want to be around. Now, I love that the Strength card is in the heart of this reading, because the Strength card talks about courage. It talks about faith. And while you can probably be, the most outgoing and charismatic person in the zodiac, and you are one of those for sure, there's a certain, at times you lack a certain amount of self-confidence, and the Strength card is saying, you have to trust yourself. You have to have faith in your gifts. You have to be courageous and lead with those gifts and show people that side of you. That's where your true essence is. That's where your magic is. And honestly, the passion that you have, you don't have a problem attracting people. You just sometimes might attract the wrong kinds. Now, I'm down here pointing at the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is very passionate by nature, but he's always ready to move across new ground. He is an adventurous spirit, as are you. You have a very fertile mind. You need, to be around people who challenge you, who intellectually stimulate you. You are one of those people that want to experience and taste all aspects of life. And the Knight of Wands is like that too, but on the downside, he's always taking off for new things and not sticking around long enough to develop some relationships. So, next to the Lover's card, that might indicate that. And when you're doing this introspective dive in your cave, in your sanctuary, trying to figure out, some of the things that you brought to past relationships, whether it was for different reasons, because you were a different person back then. We all were. You've grown, you've learned. Each step has brought you further. And so you've developed some other methods, of interacting with people. So it's going to be your challenge over the next 7 years with Uranus in this house, this one-on-one relationship house. And remember what Uranus brings. Uranus is like, you're not doing things the conventional way. You need to, attract people who fly their freak flag, because you're unique. You're that person, Be you. Just be you. Have the courage to just be you. You're not an imposter. You're not a poser, but you can let go of some of those social elements. You can read a room real quick, Sagittarius. And doing so, like I said, you attract those type of people too. You want to attract a little bit more of an authentic bunch this time around, is what I'm suggesting. Now, the Judgment card says honor your judgment. Honor your intuition and your judgment. And to honor it means that you know what to do. You know when something's not a good decision. You know when it might be better to take a different route, is what I'm saying. Now, it's interesting that the Knight of Pentacles is right above this Judgment card, because the Knight of Pentacles could be somebody coming in for you. Again, this Knight it brings, some energy into your world, is entering. They have money, they have means, not flashy, just really earthy, down to earth, real stable, real secure. Usually not the type of person that you're attracted to. You're usually attracted to the Knight of Wands, Mr. Exciting. Let's go and, take that, long weekend in Cabo, pack your bags, we're ready to go. And while that is exciting, and while there is a lot of passion and fun with that, you're going to be challenged this time to open up your mind and your heart to other type of individuals. And I might suggest it might be a Knight of Pentacles, a little bit more of an earthy energy coming to you. Of course, that could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and they don't have to be of that sign. I'm just saying that an earthy person who, is a little bit more stable, maybe not as exciting, but you might be ready for that, is what I'm saying, because we do grow, we do evolve, and we learn through life through our experiences. Now, this Ace of Cups that's crowning this Knight of Pentacles might excite you a little bit, because I've always said that the Ace of Cups is first of all, it is a divine gift from God, obviously illustrated with a communion chalice and the Dove of Peace with a host, and it is that opportunity that's coming your way, and it is in your heart space because it's a cup, and it's crowning the Knight of Pentacles. So if you're getting ready to meet this Knight of Pentacles, entertain the idea. The Page of Wands is saying it might be fun, it might be good, you might learn something, And by the way, still waters run deep, so some of these more stable, less flashy energies, Knight of Wands, extremely flashy and fun, not always have a lot of depth to them. So give other people a chance, is what I'm saying. All right, we're going to find one more challenge that you'll be facing this month with another card from this tarot deck. All right, the Hierophant. That's interesting. Now, the Hierophant is a very... it's Taurus's card, and Taurus is represented by the Pentacles. So I'm definitely convinced now that you got to entertain this new introduction, or somebody who you already know. The Hierophant is earthy element. It is Taurus's card, and it is a very prominent, successful, abundant. The Hierophant is successful. It has an element of spirituality attached to it, or religion, because of being, illustrated as the Pope. But it's really more of an energy of being in touch spiritually. I also like that the keys are down here, because a lot of times that indicates a new home or some travel. So you might be traveling, you might be visiting their home, but Taurus is showing up prominently, and I like it for you, I do. The Judgment card is your spiritual awakening card, and be true to yourself, Sagittarius, because the truth is what the Judgment card is. It's your last call. And it's saying, have you had enough? This is a cycle that's getting ready to close. You, have some unfinished business that you can take care of. You can release and surrender all of the energy that no longer is for you, and you're invited to move on and to move up. So I hope you say yes, and let me know in comments if any of this comes true. In the meantime, I am wishing you all balance, peace, and harmony. Take care.